Are you ready to transform your summer into an epic splash-tastic adventure? Say goodbye to wasteful, single-use water balloons and hello to the ultimate in reusable, eco-friendly fun with reusable water balloons. Check out the link in the video description to get yours on Amazon today.
A mysterious note was found in the pocket of a grandmother who executed her son's ex-wife as she was loading her baby into a car before turning the gun on herself. Kathleen Lee, 65, fatally shot her former daughter-in-law Marissa Galloway, 45, in New York City amid a bitter custody dispute, police said. Galloway was placing one of her daughters, aged 1, into her vehicle during a custody swap when Lee shot her in the head and back before taking her own life. Now it has emerged that Lee, who was terminally ill, was carrying a note which read "For police," the New York Post reports. The contents of the note were not immediately made clear. Galloway has been battling for custody of her 4-year-old child with Lee's son, the father of the child, since 2021. The 1-year-old has a different father. The late mother had a history of domestic violence disputes with her partner related to the custody battle, said NYPD's Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenney. 5 reports and 2 complaints had been filed with the NYPD between July 2021 and November, but no arrests were made. Lee was pronounced dead at the scene. Galloway was rushed to the hospital, where life-saving efforts were made, but she ultimately succumbed to her wounds. 2 guns were recovered at the crime scene, a 9mm gun from the sidewalk and another gun in the tote bag Lee had on her. Police are trying to confirm whether or not Lee had owned the firearms during her time as a probation officer. Her family have since paid tribute to Galloway, saying her kindness, generosity, and love were unparalleled. She devoted her whole life to her 2 beautiful daughters, Lily and Mariel. They were her world, a statement on a GoFundMe states. Marissa's untimely passing will leave a void in all of our lives. But her memory will live on in her daughters and in all of our hearts. Police were called to the apartment, located steps away from Mayor Adams' residence, the Gracie Mansion, in the Yorkville, a neighborhood that has a reputation for being generally safe and quiet, just before 9 a.m. The 911 caller reported hearing 3 gunshots, then looking out the window to see 2 women lying on the ground in a pool of their own blood. First responders said Galloway was still breathing when they arrived, but was pronounced dead at the hospital. Lee was a retired probation officer from Chicago, and had moved in with her son in their Upper East Side apartment 3 years ago. Sources told the New York Post that Lee had terminal cancer and had been undergoing treatment while living with her son in his doorman building. The neighbors have been in the know about Galloway and Lee's ongoing feud. She always talked about the fact that she had a former partner that was harassing the hell out of her because I had child services at my door one evening asking if I had ever heard any problems next door, said Galloway's neighbor Meryl Feidelman. I said, no, she's a lovely, lovely mother, a lovely woman. Lee allegedly believed Galloway to be abusive, as several of the reports included complaints from the 4-year-old's father, claiming that his daughter would arrive home with bruises on her arm, but investigators found the accusations unfounded. But residents in the building suggest otherwise, as a neighbor told the New York Post that the mother showed no signs of a cancer diagnosis, and often told others in the building that she thought Galloway was an abuser. She used to say things to me like the mother is abusing the child, the neighbor said, which I don't think there was any evidence of that. But I know she did not like the ex-daughter-in-law. Sources told the New York Post that the father had custody Friday through Monday, while Galloway had their daughter Tuesday through Thursday. NYPD investigators reportedly entered the apartment and walked out with a cardboard box of items. The investigation is still ongoing. No arrests have been made.